everyone, and welcome to another one of our quick start videos. Today we'll be going over creating an attachment in FastAttach. So let's get started. Our first step into creating an attachment is to find the corresponding patient that we need to create the supporting documentation for. And we can do so by clicking on the New Search button in the upper left-hand corner. From the patient search screen, you'll be given the opportunity of finding a patient that was previously entered into FastAttach under the patient lookup section. You can search for this patient using their first name, last name, or even date of birth. You can also find the most recent patients entered into FastAttach by simply clicking on the search button, and your search results will populate down below. In the search results section, you'll have an opportunity of editing the patient data, along with viewing the attachment history, and you also have a direct link to create an attachment for that particular patient. To enter a brand new patient, you will need to go into that New Patient button located in your upper left-hand corner. This will bring us to the patient information screen, and we will start off by entering in the patient's first name, last name, date of birth, and the sending provider. Our next step is to add the patient insurance by clicking on the Add Insurance button located towards your right. In the pop-up window, you can use the drop-down to find the insurance company saved to your favorites list. Or if you're having trouble finding the particular insurance company, you can select that Show All Payers checkbox and find the full listing of all of our payers. Once selected, we will need to enter in the member ID that's located on the patient's insurance card, and we will also need to set the relationship to the insured party. Click OK to save your information to the system, and your save data should now show up under the patient insurance section. At any point, you can edit or delete the information that was entered in, or you can add secondary and tertiary insurance by clicking on the Add Insurance button again. We have now entered in all the required patient information, and we can click on the Create Attachment button in the upper left-hand corner and save our changes to advance to the next screen. You are now presented with the data entry screen with a Save, Hold, and Patient Information button. If you need to edit any patient information, you can go back one screen by clicking on that Patient Info button. You will also notice the patient and insurance information provided down below, with a few options of quickly changing the sending provider and the insurance company by using those drop-downs. Next, we will need to enter in the claim date of service. You can either type in the specific date, or you can use the drop-down to bring up a calendar. Keep in mind, if you have a through date, there is a checkbox that you would need to check to unlock the through date of service. If you're sending a prior authorization, click the corresponding radio button. To the right, we will have a narrative section. You can add any information pertaining to the claim and/or the attachment in this section. The narrative box will take up to 2,000 characters, and you can copy and paste from any other software into this section. Just above the narrative box, we'll have an EOB information section. Keep in mind that you can respond to an explanation of benefits directly through the FastAttach software. You will be presented with the question, did the payer request this attachment, which is typically defaulted to no. In the event that you are, you would want to click the Yes radio button. The payer reference number section will unlock, and you'll have the ability of entering in the claim ID that the insurance company has identified your original claim with. You can also hit the little question mark to bring up the tooltips to help you find the payer reference number. Since we are sending an unsolicited attachment, I will set the section back to no. Now that we have all of the information entered in, we are ready to associate our images with the attachment. At the top of the screen, you'll be presented with a series of acquisition methods. Starting from the rear, FastCapture is a program that can be downloaded on your smartphone or tablet through the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. The program is fully HIPAA compliant and it will not save any patient data or images on the device. Our next acquisition method is the archive button. All images uploaded for this patient will be saved under the archive feature. Once selected, you'll find all the images associated with this patient with the description, the image note, and the date that the image was taken. You can also view the image by selecting the View option towards the right. A new dialog box will populate with the image selected, and you can scroll through to make sure this is the image that you are looking for. And once completed, you can click the OK button. If you would like to reuse this image for a new attachment, you can do so by selecting the checkbox to the left and then clicking the Add button towards the bottom of the screen. You will now find the image available as an attachment. You can review the description, edit, or delete the image. Our next acquisition method is File Import. Select the File Import button to bring up your Windows Explorer and find the image that you want to import. Once selected, click the Open button at the bottom of the screen. You are now on the Edit Image screen, followed by an Image and Orientation button. Under the Image button, you have an opportunity of adjusting the quality of the uploaded image by using the brightness, contrast, and sharpness toggles. You'll also have the ability to mirror, rotate, and crop the image available. And if you would like to restore the image, you can click the Restore button to bring it back to the default settings. Next, we'll click on the Orientation button, and you'll have a list of tabs down below: Bubble, Manual, Non-X-ray, and By Tooth. The Manual tab will be used to label all of your X-rays. You can start by labeling the orientation of the image by selecting the Left side is the patient's right side toggle button. This setting is used for most offices that have digital imaging. We will also need to enter the date that the image was taken. You can use the little drop down for your calendar. We can then enter the type of X-ray that we're sending over today. And lastly, we can add an image note that will not be passed over to the insurance company, and it will be for your office use only. This note will show up under the archived images as we saw before. Once completed, we can hit the Next button at the top of the screen to advance back to the data entry screen. Once again, we'll see the description of the added image, along with an Edit and Delete button if necessary. Our next acquisition method will be the Twain Scanner button. And once selected, this will evoke the scanner software installed onto your computer that will give you an opportunity of scanning directly into FastAttach. You'll be presented with the same labeling options as we did before. And our last acquisition method is the Screen Capture feature. Once selected, FastAttach will minimize, and you'll see a Draw Rectangle and Cancel button in your upper right-hand corner. Before you hit the Draw Rectangle button, feel free to navigate through your computer to find the image that you want to associate and make it available on your screen. Once you have your image blown up to diagnostic quality, you can hit the Draw Rectangle button at the top of the screen. Once selected, your cursor will turn into a red crosshair. Start in the upper left-hand corner of the image. Hold your left mouse button down, drag it down to the bottom right corner, and let go. You should now be back at the Edit Image screen for your periodontal charting. Since we are sending over a document and not an X-ray this time, we are going to select the Non-X-ray tab at the top of the screen. You can use the available drop-down to select the image type that we're sending today, along with the date that the image was taken, and an image note if you desire. Now keep in mind the image note is completely optional. You do not have to populate this field. And if you are finished, you can click the Next button at the top of the screen. We are now back at the data entry screen with our new image, periodontal charting, with our Edit and Delete buttons if necessary. We have now completed all of the components to complete our attachment. You'll notice in your upper left-hand corner that you have the Save and Hold button. If you needed to come back to this attachment and add or edit information, you can click on the Hold button. Under the Hold option, you'll have three statuses: On Hold, Hold Attention Required, and Hold for Review. If you are ready to save and finalize your attachment, hit the Save button in the upper left-hand corner. This will navigate you back to the FastAttach main screen with a new status of Ready to Send. To send the attachment to the repository, find the Send button at the top of the screen. Once selected, you'll receive an attachment file receipt. On the attachment file receipt, you'll receive a unique ID called the NEA number, followed by a brief description of all the information entered in for this attachment. Lastly, you will need to enter in the NEA number onto your claim form in the remarks field exactly how you see it. All caps, NEA, #, and then the unique identifier. By entering in this information on your claim form, once your electronic claim has been processed, the insurance company will utilize the NEA number that's been placed onto your claim during the adjudication process. Feel free to print this document out if you like, but keep in mind this information will be saved within FastAttach. You can also close the document out by clicking the Close button towards the upper left-hand corner. You have now completed your attachment, and you'll notice that the patient is no longer on your FastAttach main screen. If you need further assistance, please feel free to give us a call at our 1-800 number or chat with us on our website. Thank you for joining us today, and happy sending.